Well, hello and welcome to Ask a Best-Selling Author. My name is Dr. Angela, the Author Incubator, and I am joined today by best-selling author Majid Magheraban. He is the author of Fearless Leadership. And Majid, our question to you today is about writing a book for a broad audience where you're trying to reach as many people as possible, or writing a book for an audience that's so narrow it might actually be one person. Which do you think is the better way to go? Try and reach as many people as possible with your writing, or write for one person? Would love your take on this.
Well, I did write 2 books with 2 different strategies. The first one was the large audience strategy. The second one was the love letter strategy, like the very specific one person. The first one was a book for youth on goal setting. And I imagined students reading the book. I imagined teachers reading the book. I imagined school administrators reading the book, parents reading the book. And I hope at some points everyone read that at some point, but it alienates all of those audiences because the teachers reading it and going, oh, this is for students. And the students reading it is going, oh, he's talking to the teachers. So it doesn't really resonate so that they read it and go, oh my gosh, you're like in my head. This is totally for me. So, and writing is so complicated that way, because every sentence you write is, what is this audience going to think? What's that person going to think? What's that person going to think? The love letter strategy, and I really like this love letter idea because it's like, you really pour your heart and soul, and you don't imagine anyone else is going to read your love letter, right? You don't imagine what are all the other people going to think when they read this love letter. It's like for the one person. So knowing that my end goal was to have one specific profile of a person, read that book and say, this is exactly what I'm going through right now, and this is exactly what I need right now, and I would like your help to solve this problem for me by hiring me for my services. Knowing that was the end goal made it so much easier, because it was like I was just having a conversation with that person. And in my case, my ideal reader is a real person, and occasionally I would actually call her and say, what do you think about this thing? And she would give me some language about how she thinks about it. I go, perfect, thank you, right? And I don't think it needs to be a specific person, but just having the idea of who is he or who is she, makes it so much easier to write.
Your idea makes it easier to write.
Yeah.
Great point. You mentioned your ideal reader was a woman, but Fearless Leadership, wouldn't you ever want to help men? Is it that you don't want to help men?
No, it's not that I don't want to help men, and I am surprised at the wide variety of readers that I do get and that do hire me, but just having that level of specificity allowed me to focus, and I'll serve anybody who I believe that is a good fit to work with me, but it's harder to market and communicate to a broader audience. So niche communications. I know where to put the book in terms of advertising, in terms of what events to go to, but I'm open to serving people who have the same problem. I happen to don't look exactly like my ideal reader.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating, because what I have found is when you give people something to push against, and they can say, I know you normally work with women, but would you consider working with me? Or I know you normally work with business owners, but like the way my job works at my company, it's almost like I'm a business owner because I have 10 employees and we work like a separate business. Or I know you normally work with, professionals who are focused in services, but we have a product business.
Yep.
It's so much easier to read the book and see yourself in it if it's not written for everyone. If it's written for someone specific, then you could be like, oh, if he was talking to me, here's how I'd fit into it.
Yes.
So I talk a lot about this book that was written about a decision that it was a series of letters that inspired the love letter formula. And the decision was, should I be a military officer in Austria at the turn of the 18th century, or should I be a poet? And it seems like, well, that would have nothing to, I assume you're not a military officer and debating, should I be a poet,
no.
right? And yet if you read that book, it's really about, do I follow my head or my heart, right? So it would apply to you if you were deciding, should I move to Trinidad,
Yeah.
should I leave Canada and move to an island nation? It would still make sense to you, and you could say to the author, like, I know you normally help people decide on, career.
Yes.
Do I leave a military career or not? But what I'm really trying to do is decide on moving. Can you help me with my process? Because you'd have something to push against.
Yes.
That's the secret for me. I'm passionate about this one.
Also, I hired a woman who specializes in PR for women. Not related to this book. This is years ago, to help me with my branding. And she says, normally I work with women, but for you, I'll make an exception.
So good.
And so when a man comes to me, and if he knows my position is I normally work with women, and I make an exception to him, it's like a privilege for him to be able to hire me. It's a nice
And then he's
position.
going to show up so differently as a client. Like, you're going to get him such better results. I love this. Listen to us, people.
Yes.
Write your book for one person. Do
Yep.
not try and reach a broad audience.
Yep.
You're not listening. You already think it's a bad idea. I promise you it's not.
It's a good idea.
Okay. Well, join us for another episode of Ask a Best-Selling Author.